Welcome back to the latest edition of the Triple Threat Podcast. Rob is here.
What's up,
You know,
guys? KD's here.
KD is here.
Hey, KD.
KD got a new friend with him too. KD got
Who's Zaza?
nah. KD got a new friend with him. Got to get into first show since the NBA Finals ended.
was a good finals.
Rob's happy it's over.
No, I'm not happy it's over. I like the NBA. I don't want anybody to say I don't like the NBA. The NBA is entertaining.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know every condition Fred puts out, it wasn't the Warriors. Oh, it wasn't the Cavs. Oh, it wasn't the finals. Giants versus Cowboys still outrated Game 5 of the NBA Finals. I just want to bring that out there. So, but it was entertaining. It was a great finals. It's what we all wanted.
Highest rated finals since 1998.
I don't think anybody's ever going to pass those finals. Michael Jordan's just a huge myth. It's
This
just never
is
gonna
a
happen.
huge myth. Things of that nature. But he's gonna be a myth that's never gonna be passed now. Hot takes. Hot takes like
it's so hot
hotcakes.
anymore.
Hot takes like hotcakes. What's the first question I'm gonna ask, Rob?
What's up?
Katie silences critics.
The critics were like, before he moved to the Warriors, the critics said, "Oh, he can't win a title. He's having trouble winning a title."
Mm-hmm.
So what KD said was, "Okay, I'm gonna win a title." Now he moves to the Golden State Warriors, and now none of the critics was like, "Oh, he can't win a title." They were expecting him to. Now all of the critics are like, "Oh, he went to a 73-9 team that he just lost to." So no, he didn't silence those critics. But historically, the only thing we're going to remember about KD is how many chips he has, how many MVPs he has. Nobody's going to care about whether or
There's
not
no asterisks.
he shipped over to a 73-9 team.
At the end of the day, you counting chips.
Exactly. So 5 years from now, when it's time for it, because there's a Hall of Fame career.
Mhm.
When his Hall of Fame career is over, we're going to say,
Yeah.
"Oh, he won X amount of titles.
To
Oh,
me-
he has X amount of MVPs."
Because I think he's gonna win one or two more MVP awards.
I don't know.
I do. Because
It's tough.
I think because of the way this season went,
Well, he was in the conversation.
he was in
before he got
he was in the conversation before he got injured. Like I would have put him 3, but
Yeah, but the other two people he was competing against
was cartoonish numbers as
and
would say.
he's never gonna have those numbers
Yeah.
because he's on a team where there's multiple
But
miles.
who's to say they're gonna have those numbers again? Because guys are gonna figure out how to guard them.
They haven't yet.
It was 1 year that they.
3 years.
It was 1 year that they had those cartoonish numbers. Like,
Oh, you're talking about Russell Westbrook and James
yeah,
Harden. I think James Harden has had these numbers for not up to this extent, but he's been doing the same thing over and over again.
but to me, the main reason for them being number 1 and 2 in the MVP vote is the jumps that they had.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they weren't as good the year before, so it was like, even though that should be what the most improved award is about.
they can both win that too.
Like literally, but they made such a big jump that's like, okay, we have to kind of consider you for MVP.
You don't think they had MVP seasons though?
I do.
Yeah, without a doubt, they both had MVP seasons. Now I know Kawhi Leonard's in that conversation too, but I want to remove him out of it because there's no way either Russell Westbrook or James Harden loses. It's going to be one of those two.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So they had cartoonish numbers maybe because of the scheme change with Houston and because Russell Westbrook was basically a one-man wrecking crew by himself without KD. Maybe that's the reason why, but I see that as a trend going forward. None of these super teams and LeBron, you're on a super team.
Yeah, that's another topic.
None of these guys on super teams are going to win because they're not going to have these cartoonish numbers that all these guys by themselves are going to have.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
To me, I think next season is going to be KD and LeBron 1 and 2 for MVP.
I don't think so.
I think it will be because I think now that the debate has been had about whether the records matter, you kind of have to incorporate that with your MVP vote now because how valuable can you be on a losing team?
I agree. That's why I think Russell Westbrook should lose. But
to me, they should lose. But it's like him and James Harden was in the same playoff series.
yeah.
So how much more valuable was he during the season if they ended up in the same exact playoff series?
Well, you face the opposite guy. So James Harden was
But
clearly
it was the 3-6 matchup.
3-6 matchup.
3-6 matchup.
James Harden had the third best record in the NBA. That
Yeah.
includes East and West. So we can't use that analogy for that one. But I think LeBron James specifically is not going to play enough games to warrant an MVP consideration. He's not. He's I think he's done trying to do regular season stuff.
He's
I think
the
he's
MVP every year.
No, people, there's a difference. I want to address that. There's a difference between being the best player and having the best season. You can have the best season and not be considered the best player. Those are mutually exclusive. They're not together.
I feel the same.
So if LeBron James did not have the best season this year, he shouldn't be considered as an MVP. I don't want to hear, oh, he's the best. And he's not going to be the best until he retires. I give him about 2 more years of being LeBron. It's going to eventually dip. He's 32 years old. Let's be honest. He might even get surpassed next year, but I respect him enough to give him 2 more years.
And yeah, he's the best player right now.
Yeah, right now he's the best player.
I think.
But he's 32. Let's remember that. He's not in his prime.
I think
he's getting out of his prime.
If the critics aren't silenced by now, it's like they're not going to shut up because
there's no way. So he did the right thing.
Yeah, it's like they were going to. It was either he's going to have critics if he was a loser. He's going to have critics if he's a winner. So I'd rather be criticized for being a winner as opposed to being criticized for being a loser. Like I said before, if Golden State was the best option because any other option would have been just as good as Oklahoma City or worse than Oklahoma City. So it's not the same thing. And another thing, for everyone who's saying, well, he joined a 73-9 team and the Miami Heat were 47 and 35. Yo, he did not sign till the week after Chris Bosh went to Miami.
Yeah, Chris Bosh was there first.
Chris Bosh was there first. That's the reason why it was such a big deal of him going to Miami because they knew Chris Bosh was already there.
Yeah.
So that's one. And number two, they had just been in the championship. Not the championship, the playoffs that same year.
Yeah. Perennial playoff team
against Boston. And the main thing I keep saying is Kevin Durant literally played Golden State in the playoffs one time before he went.
Yeah,
only one time. It was never him. Golden State was never his rival. His rival he said it during the post game. He said the only person I thought that could look at me eye to eye since 2012 was LeBron James. He came here to beat LeBron the same way LeBron went to Miami to beat Boston. That's
all you want.
Anything else, but to me, it's like they both left to chase championships.
They ring chased, and KD did it better.
To championships. Anything else you say is just splitting hairs.
Let me ask you a question. LeBron did that by grabbing free agents and moving into a team.
Mm-hmm.
What free agents were available this summer that would have given Kevin Durant that same thing?
He was the only free agent.
That's it. So how was he supposed to do that?
Their team was built through the draft. They had 2 guys that they got through free agency. 2 notable guys. That was Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala.
And they got Andre Iguodala before.
They got Andre Iguodala.
All of this happened.
Before they had Draymond Green and all those guys. That was the original Steph, Clay, and Dre. Mm-hmm. Draymond Green wasn't the original Dre. So, I mean, they're going to continue to say, well, he's a traitor, he's a snake, cupcake, all these other things. At the end of the day, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and I think he's going to have 3 championships or more. And
they're winning next year. It's going to be a hot take right now. They're winning the NBA championship next year. They're winning. They're definitely going to make the finals, and they're definitely going to win. I am going to say that out loud. They're a minus 200 favorite. The only team.
They're the highest odds of any championship team ever in Vegas.
It's ridiculous.
Any sport.
You lose money betting them to win the title. That's a future. You never. I don't know, but they're going to win the title.
I gotta see what moves Cleveland makes in the off season.
What can they do? They can't get Paul George without trading.
I mean, I think they willingly deal Kevin Love. The same way the Golden State Warriors willingly dealt.
You guys said, you didn't want Melo, right? Melo would have won y'all 1 game by himself. It would have been 2-4. Y'all still would have lost, but y'all would have won something. I'm just saying. Other teams are getting better in the East, too. I still think it's going to be Cleveland.
Boston's going to get great.
We got to see until after what happens after the draft, after free agency.
I think Boston, I'm hearing that Boston is trying to make trades with the number 1 pick to get Jimmy Butler. And then get like the number.
I wouldn't do that. And I get Markelle Fultz over Jimmy Butler.
No, I'm saying keep the number 1 draft pick, but like keep a high draft pick, or they going to trade with Philly
How they gonna?
because it's a three-team trade.
3-team. Oh, okay.
3-team trade, and then they possibly get Gordon Hayward too. That's a formidable team.
Yeah. So we can't even assume Cleveland's gonna make the finals.
And you don't know what Washington's going to do. 'Cause I still think Washington's a great team.
Washington, they're good. They're good. I think if we're just talking about great teams, I think there's only two. Well,
Yeah.
three. The Spurs are a great team too, and then the rest, there's other good teams sprinkled out, and then there's the bottom barrel where our teams are.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the East is going to be a lot tougher than the West next year, especially because if Gordon Hayward leaves Utah,
a lot tougher than the West, or
a lot tougher than the West. Yeah, because I think if Gordon Hayward leaves Utah,
yeah, that's true.
they were the number 4 team. They probably take a significant drop.
Chris Paul's gonna leave Clippers, maybe.
He just might go to the Clippers and make San Antonio stronger.
Is Blake Griffin?
I'm hearing Blake Griffin is considering Boston.
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing the Knicks. I'm hearing the East Coast for Blake Griffin.
I haven't heard any West Coast teams making any significant moves other than LeBron in 2018.
People want to leave the Warriors, man. They don't want to be in the same side as the Warriors. The Warriors are just they're too good.
You're gonna have to see them anyway.
In the finals, because they're gonna be there.
They're gonna be in the finals.
You're gonna lose. They should set up another award for the NBA Finals loser, because the Golden State Warriors have that for the next 3 years.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
Maybe more. It depends because
they'll
they're all
get
under 30.
old.
They're all under 30.
They're barely under 30.
Barely under 30. But
29. Kevin Durant's 29.
That's 3 years at least.
Yeah.
Because LeBron's 32 now.
2 years from now, he's not gonna be the best player on the planet. I'll tell you that.
Next, let's talk about, speaking of LeBron James, 3-5 in the finals now. First of all, let me just say this: LeBron was fantastic in the finals.
He was. Average triple double.
Yeah,
only
the
guy.
first player ever to average triple double. He was fantastic.
7 straight finals, impressive.
I'll even say he had the talent on his team, but he didn't get the help that he needed from that talent. But
no, I disagree with that. The Warriors were just better.
Yeah, no, obviously. I'm just saying.
You can't say he didn't get the help, because the help was there.
Yeah, I'm saying the talent was there. He just didn't get. They just didn't produce.
How much more do you want? In Game 1, Kevin Love had 20 rebounds.
Yeah, you're right.
Point totals, Kyrie had more than Steph.
See, I'll be defending LeBron. Y'all, I can't even get mad at me. I'll be one of the only people on here defending LeBron. But
I'm defending LeBron's team.
It's always a but. 3-5 in the finals. Is that GOAT conversation over?
Yes. I told you guys when we were having the GOAT conversation before. I'm like, I'll put him in, and then he completely leaves the conversation after the first sentence. He's the only MVP to lose 5 NBA finals in 5. He's the only one. He also has his competition has been very, very weak in the East. I give him the Pacers in when he was in Miami, and I give him Boston, but those are only 2 teams. And most of the time, the Pacers and the Celtics took each other out. And the Knicks were good for, I think, 2 years. They took out Boston, and the Pacers took out them.
They took out the Knicks in 5 games.
Exactly. In the East, the Cavaliers only played one good team in the East.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When people say Jordan lost in the East, so they don't speak about that. That's because it kind of balances out if you think about it. Because LeBron's competition in the West was
much tougher. It was tougher. Yeah.
It was much tougher, but so was Jordan's.
In the East.
In the East, LeBron was playing like Jeff Teague and the Hawks.
Yeah, that's.
Jordan was playing Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning,
and Patrick Ewing, Shaq,
Larry Johnson, like those type of guys.
Don't forget the bad boy Pistons. He beat them on his en route to the NBA title.
Exactly,
also.
And he had to work to get past those guys. They used to kill the Bulls, but.
Now, when people say Jordan got swept in the first round, I want to put an asterisk next to that. That's true, he did. 1, it was only 3 games, so he only lost 3 games. That's tough. And 2, he lost to one of the greatest teams of all time. He lost to the Larry Bird Boston Celtics. That's insane.
You guys can check out that 30 for 30.
I want to say this real quick.
Mm.
Jordan spent 12 full seasons in Boston.
Chicago.
In Chicago. I'm sorry. Yeah, in Chicago. He's 12 full seasons in Chicago. He won, not made, won the NBA championship half of those times, 6 times. So if we're talking about as a percentage of winning titles versus your entire career, it's not even close.
No,
LeBron James played 15 years and he only got 3 titles. That's a lot of titles, but he only got 3 titles. Jordan played 12 years and he got 6. I think people aren't really noticing that.
And to me, to say you're not as good as Jordan isn't saying anything negative. Like, if you're even having this conversation about you being in the conversation, that alone tells you how great of a player you are. But it's just, Michael Jordan was flawless in the NBA Finals.
Flawless.
Like, when I say flawless, like, this man in the NBA Finals never even had the opportunity to play Game 7 because he always closed it out in 6 games or less. And then, like, look at who was on his team in the Finals versus who LeBron had on his team in the Finals. Like, number 1 draft picks.
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers. Michael Jordan, like I said last show.
Michael Jordan played with 2.
Like,
and one of them was 36 when he joined them the second time.
Like I said
around.
last show, Michael Jordan has played with 1 All-Star his entire career. That was Scottie Pippen. Mm-hmm. So I look at it in that sense. In order to,
you remember in the East, the All-Star team, half of them was the Heat, basically? It's ridiculous.
3 of the starting 5 is so. I mean, it's not anything negative about LeBron. LeBron is on the Mount Rushmore of NBA players.
No, I don't think so.
You want to put him top 5?
I put him top 5, but Mount Rushmore there's only 4 players. And he's 5th to me.
I put him top 4.
Now, now, all you guys, there's one criticism I know you guys are gonna give us, and you're gonna say, "Oh, we're just saying team stats." Now, first of all, Jordan in a per game average has better stats in all categories except assists and rebounds. Now, I wanna attack that team stat thing. What's an assist?
Team stat.
Assist. I don't understand why we associate assists as an individual stat when it takes 2 people. Literally a minimum of 2 people to get an assist.
No hockey assist.
The only way you can get a rebound is if somebody else misses a shot. And odds are the reason somebody else missed a shot is because your teammate was playing good defense on them. Is that not a team stat? A steal when it happens in most of the time it happens in double teams. A team stat? Most of it is team. This is a team sport. The only one where you can say, oh, maybe it's not a team stat is points. And half the time the other guys are making the off-ball plays to give you the lane to make the points. So even then, team accomplishments do not diminish the argument just because you think it's team accomplishments, especially when Jordan leads in almost every single per game stat, especially when he has more MVPs, more and all this stuff. I'm sorry I've been dragging on, but I want to say what would it take to get LeBron to win?
You have to win
to
3
be the
straight.
GOAT.
He had to win 3 straight to be back in the conversation.
Not only that, he needs to win an additional MVP, and he has to. Oh no, to win 3 straight just to get back in the conversation for sure. I'll have him in the conversation now, but like I said, I'll remove him. He needs also an additional MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. He has to get a Defensive Player of the Year. All of the greats, all 4.
I don't know if that's possible at this point because I really think.
I don't think it's
Kawhi
possible.
Leonard I think the Defensive Player of the Year, him and Draymond got locked down.
But that's
for at least
why
the next 5 years.
Jordan is such a myth out there. He has a Defensive Player of the Year.
But it's not only
he
that.
led the league in
look
steals
who he is playing with when he had Defensive Player. Like there was Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning,
these bruising defenders.
Gary Payton, like he won the Defensive Player of the Year while playing with those guys. Right now, there's really only. You could say probably 2 or 3 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. That's those
Kawhi,
2 guys,
Draymond.
those 2 guys, and maybe Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah,
that's really it.
So I know you guys are gonna think, hey, that's unfair. LeBron can't do that. That's my point. Jordan did that,
and he's way smaller.
Yeah, he's way smaller.
Way smaller and way less athletic than LeBron.
Can I give you my top 5 right now?
Yeah,
I got Jordan, Kareem, Russell, Magic, and then LeBron at 5.
You got LeBron ahead of Kobe already?
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
I don't.
I mean, now how do you have LeBron as the top 4 player? There's no way those other guys should leave your list.
I got Jordan 1, Kareem 2, Kobe 3, Jordan 4, and Magic at 5.
LeBron at 4.
I mean, yeah, my LeBron at 4 and Magic at 5.
Bill Russell is basically a LeBron James with more rings.
I can't.
I'm sorry to disrespect Bill Russell like that. LeBron James is a Bill Russell with less rings. I'm sorry.
I can't say that because I never got a chance to really.
I've never got to see Kareem's.
I mean, I've seen Kareem's highlights though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Bill Russell, they have highlights out there too.
Yeah, I just never
they're
watched
very,
them
very
because
minimal.
he's a Boston Celtic and I don't care.
but think about it. If we're gonna, the only knock you could give against Bill Russell is because of the competition, which is the same knock you could give LeBron James. And it's an easier league to play in right now than it was back then.
There's no hand checking.
Yeah, so I can't remove Bill Russell. He has 11 titles. LeBron went to 7 straight finals.
Some of those
Bill Russell won 8 straight.
Yeah. Let's get back to something we agree on, which is Aaron Judge being MVP.
Oh yes, he just hit another home run last night.
I know they lost 4 in a row. I'm mad.
Yeah, it's a little, but you look at what for the 4 losses, 9th inning. Extra.
They had like 7. They had like 7 runs in all their losses.
Yeah,
it's not often that's going to happen.
The differential,
especially with
the
Tanaka pitching the way he is.
They're pitching right now. I don't know exactly what's happening, but the point differential, the New York Yankees have a plus 115 point differential. These guys are for real. You got even Yankee haters, even Mets fans that that I talked to recently, who were reluctant to give the Yankees any credit a month ago. Even they have to say, you know what, these Yankees are for real.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be AL MVP, first of all.
Without a doubt. Cross fingers, knock on wood and all that. No injuries happen. But barring injury, he's AL MVP. The way he's playing, he's going to start in the All-Star game. Wow.
He's having an incredible rookie year.
Dude, we went from Jeter to Judge. I'm not putting Judge on the Jeter category yet. But isn't that amazing? I mean, it feels good to be to root for a team has all this luck. As a Knicks fan, it's the complete opposite, so it feels good.
Oh yeah, listen, there's nothing to debate here in the AL.
Well, Mike Trout a month ago, but now it's gone.
He's hurt. Done. Yeah, it's done. It's because Mike Trout isn't there, and it's like who else in the American League? No one in the American League has even gotten 15 home runs other than Mike Trout. I don't think anyone's gotten to 15. I don't think
they might have.
Manny Machado didn't.
No.
Bryce Harper's in the National League.
Yeah. You look at that. Most of the point gettings is in the National League. It's like Aaron Judge and then a bunch of other National League players.
Exactly. So listen.
Stick a fork in it. This MVP conversation is done.
It's done. Like we ain't gonna have to spend too much time on this topic.
Do you know Jeter never won an MVP?
Yeah.
That hurts me.
He's won 5 Gold Gloves though.
Yeah. No, Derek Jeter's had a stellar career that I would love to have. But then Aaron Judge, dude, if he wins this MVP, Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year, because he's winning Rookie of the Year.
Magic Johnson did it in basketball.
He get injured right now and he's winning Rookie of the Year. Magic Johnson is a top 5 player of all time. He's a top 4 player of all time.
Yeah, I just said that. Our first 3 was the same. Then 4 and 5 was when we get mixed up.
True.
But yeah, Aaron Judge is MVP. That's
that's
that topic.
Just like no debate. What are we supposed to do? At one point, I think it was last week, he led in every single batting offensive category.
RBI, batting average, and home runs.
He got in a little bit of a slump, and he's second in batting average and RBIs now. But come on, this is ridiculous.
That's like I said. I told you how I feel about that slump. Where the same way people said Klay Thompson was in a slump.
Yeah,
we see how that turned out.
Dude, Aaron Judge, you just hit another home run last night. Who continuously is winning me in fantasy weeks. Dude, Aaron Judge, I can't say that.
Got my vote.
He has my vote too if I had one.
Got my vote if I had one.
It's not like the NBA vote, which I have a vote. I wish I did. I would definitely vote for Harden.
OBJ is back.
Yeah! He was never gone.
He's never gone because they voluntary OTAs.
Voluntary OTAs.
But OBJ is back, looking healthy.
Best wide receiver in the league right now.
Best wide receiver. So does that mean he deserves to be the highest paid wide receiver? Because they said what was being said was that part of the reason he wasn't showing up to voluntary OTAs was because of the contract that he currently has.
I'm sorry. I know OBJ and all other rookies coming into the league and everybody on that first 4-year deal. The NBA Players Association screwed you. They really did. Before that, did you see what Sam Bradford signed before he even played an NFL
$58
snap?
million.
He made more than Peyton Manning, who was arguably top. He definitely was top 2 quarterbacks in the league. So they cut that down. So no matter what you do in those first 4 years with the 5th-year player option, which the Giants smartly picked up for him, there's no way you're getting that money. Zero way. And the Giants, they're paying other people, so they're not going to focus on you right now.
53-man roster.
Now, when it's your turn to get paid, OBJ, when it is his turn,
take him to the bank.
Do it. You're going to be the highest paid wide receiver in the league. You're going to be getting more money than some quarterbacks.
Yeah, he is, because you see what happened with Antonio Brown. He just had to be patient. Now, the thing about being patient is you can get injured. Mm-hmm. Like Peyton Hillis.
He had one good year.
He had one
good
year.
It sucks. I'm sorry, Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis was supposed to be really good. Who else? A lot of
Hakeem Nicks was an awesome Giant. That he was a great wide receiver, and then he got injured, and he was never the same again.
Victor Cruz.
He got paid before he got injured, but he still got injured, and now he's never the same again.
You look
it's possible.
It's possible to get injured. That's the thing. That's why I think it's a little bit more urgent with football players as opposed to getting paid now as opposed to waiting. Because first of all, if I was the Giants, I'd pay him now. Because
there's too much money tied up in other people. Where's the money coming from?
There is, but imagine if OBJ stays on this pace and continues to have seasons like this for the next 1-2 years. Mm-hmm. Imagine what he's going to be worth in 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to be monstrously insane. But the reason the Seahawks and the reason the 49ers were dominant in those past years is because they had little money tied to the quarterback. Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick were making peanuts.
Yeah.
And when you don't pay a superstar, you can move that money other ways, and then that superstar is still going to play as a superstar, and you're paying them not superstar money. It's not the Giants' fault. It's the owner's fault for this, but it's not the Giants' fault that
but that's the reason
OBJ's great and they don't have to pay him that much.
Yeah, because then you could bring in guys like Janoris Jenkins and Olivier Vernon to put on your defense.
JPP's making a lot of money.
To me, that's kind of like the same thing with the Golden State Warriors. They could afford to bring in KD because they were playing Steph Curry peanuts.
J.R. Smith makes more than Steph Curry.
A lot of guys, every one of the people in the starting 5 makes more than Steph Curry on the Cavaliers roster. Yeah.
Tristan Thompson makes it bank.
Kevin Love is $110 million max player.
So, Kyrie Irving max player. LeBron James max player.
Player. They max Kyrie?
Yeah.
Probably the year before LeBron got there.
Yeah. They maxed him as soon as they could.
Don't blame him.
Look, this is all a part of the Players Association. OBJ, I'm kind of upset. The NFL makes tons of money. Mm-hmm. I was just laughing at the NBA. The ratings were just insane for the Super Bowl and all that. NFL prints money. They want money. You guys, the only way to get the NFL to realize, hey, the players need to be paid more is by hitting them where it hurts, their wallet, and saying, hey, I don't want this to happen because I want to see football. Say, hey, we're willing to miss some games. The problem is, though, they don't have guaranteed contracts, and a lot of them don't save money right. And
that's athletes, period.
That's athletes, period. Yeah, so.
But NBA players is a little bit more expendable.
Yeah, exactly. They're a lot more.
Like, there's not a lot of people in the NFL making $15, $20 million a year. Probably
only the stars.
Probably nobody.
What, in the NFL?
Yeah. No, other than quarterbacks.
No.
$20 million guaranteed?
Well, guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Contracts in the NBA are guaranteed.
Yeah, fully guaranteed. But there's nothing that says NFL contracts can't be guaranteed.
They just choose not to do it.
They just, of course, because why would you?
Why would you if you have the option?
The same reason. Why would the Giants pay OBJ when they don't have to?
It's like the same.
And I'm a huge OBJ fan, and I want to eventually see him get paid. But what's better for the Giants is that OBJ continues to make what he's making now.
But you know what's crazy?
We can use that money somewhere else.
The Giants are probably one of the only teams that have the money to pay him because they're in a bigger market.
but salary cap concerns. It's a hard salary cap sport. It's not like the NBA where there's certain rules where you could go over the cap and mess up. You can't go over the cap in the NFL for any reason. That's that number, and you can't pass.
There's no luxury tax in the NFL?
No.
Damn. Yikes.
No, there's no. That's the only reason there's a luxury tax is because there's a soft salary cap, and in baseball there's a huge luxury tax.
Bryce Harper.
You don't have to pay nothing. You hear the Yankees. The sources are saying they might not even go for Bryce Harper anymore because Aaron Judge is crazy. Well, I would because
I mean, I would,
that lineup
but
is
it's
crazy.
like you can save money to pay Aaron Judge when you're gonna have to pay him.
Yankees print money and there's no salary cap. Just pay it. Just pay everybody.
Business decisions.
For what? Win. Yankees, there's no excuse in baseball to not open your wallet and pay.
I heard that report, but I think what the report was saying is like they're not going to be salivating at it.
No,
it's if they can get him, of course, who wouldn't make a run at Bryce Harper? If they
Everybody is. He's going to make $400 million. Yeah. I don't think the Yankees are going to pay that.
They dumb if they don't.
They should.
But it's probably going. You know, the thing is, it's probably going to be more than $400 million when it's time to sign him.
425? It's not going to be $500 million. That's insane. A 10-year contract for $500 million.
$400 million is insane.
It's true, but baseball players are worth that. They're making sure they're worth that.
I'll put it to you this way: Albert Pujols got 250.
Yeah,
and who was better?
And he was old. He was 31, 32.
He's old, and Bryce Harper's going to be young in 2 years.
He's 26.
And who was better at? Even though he's coming off a World Series win, to me, Bryce Harper is better right now than Aaron. What's this guy's name? Albert Pujols was
back then
when he got that contract.
Miguel Cabrera got a $270 million contract.
A-Rod got $300, and he was old when he got it.
Yeah. So we're talking about a young guy.
Yeah.
A guy that's going to be a staple of your franchise for years.
To pair with another staple of your franchise.
Aaron Judge.
And then on top of that, most of your guys are young. Most of the guys on the Yankees haven't been in the league like 5, 6. I think
Gary Sanchez is a rookie.
I think the oldest guy is probably either Gardner or Hicks.
Or CeCe.
I mean, but that actually hits.
Oh yeah.
Pitchers is like you can be an old pitcher, kind of, depending on how fast you throw. Like look how
that CeCe money is going to be gone. I don't think he's definitely not going to make as much as he makes now. But if he's asking for that much, we're not going to re-sign him.
Nah, why would you? He's old.
So CeCe might come back, but he'll be back in a favorable contract.
And then they're about to bring up Gleyber.
Wait till he's ready, guys. We don't need Gleyber right this second. Wait till he's ready.
I read the report. They said they might bring him up before the All-Star break.
Nah, that's too soon. After the All-Star break.
That's what I say.
But
so you don't have to pay the arbitration like you said.
Exactly. But back to OBJ. Guy, you deserve the money. You've earned. Let me not stop saying deserve. You've earned that money.
You earned it.
You've earned it. But
even though he's only had
the
one
way
playoff
of the land right now.
Even though the Giants have only had one playoff appearance since they signed him, like he's clearly earned.
It's not his fault that.
He's had the stats.
Yeah.
He's had the stats. He's had the drive.
It's his fault we lost that playoff game though. We should have won that one.
You could say that. You gotta find him. Yeah, like one drop pass.
Yeah, multiple. One of them was a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
One of them, it was like you couldn't get more wide open, and
I wanted them to win.
He got open. He dropped the ball. You can't do that. It doesn't matter. Like in the NBA, like say, you cross somebody over, right? And then when you drive to the basket and you miss the basket, that negates everything.
Yeah, you gotta
that.
finish.
It did not matter. Same thing. OBJ, you did great getting that wide open. I think you're probably the only person, you, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, only people in the league that could get that wide open. Didn't matter because you didn't catch the ball.
Making good sense today, Rod.
I'm sorry, man. I'm with the little guy and all that, but come on, they don't have to give you stuff. Come on, it's the way of the land. You got to do what's best for business sometimes, and giving OBJ money right now, 2 years from now, way best for business. But right now, it's not best for business. Shout out to Triple H.
People power. Shout out to this guy, John Laurinaitis.
I don't shout out him.
LeBron
James.
Are you dead ass? LeBron said that he's never played on a Super team before.
I'll say this.
Don't say it. LeBron didn't start the super team
Okay, I can accept that.
because they're like when I was listening to the Road Tripping podcast where he said it on.
The good podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I like Richard Jefferson now.
Yeah, he was always when he was here in New Jersey. He was always great.
But to me, you had the Lakers with Karl Malone and Gary Payton, and then
That was a super team.
Kobe Check. That was a super team. Boston was a super team. I don't consider the Detroit Pistons a super team because
They didn't have a super
they,
team,
they they didn't have there was no.
but they were a great team.
They were just a great team.
I also don't consider the Chicago Bulls a super team because they drafted that team.
Would you consider the San Antonio Spurs a super team?
No, they also drafted that team.
But,
Kawhi Leonard was like a second-round pick.
but they had 3 Hall of Famers at that point.
Yes,
I was saying-
but they were homegrown talent.
Okay, so
At
what-
some point, when do you?
how would
give
you define
credit
a super
to-
team? Does it have to be free agents to be a super team? Because if that's the case, then the Golden State Warriors aren't a super team.
No, I think
either.
they're a super team. I think a super team is a collection of talent that separates them from the rest. So
That's-
yes, by that definition, they're the super. But the question was forming a super team,
Okay.
and I think
I see
there's
what
a
you're saying.
difference between what LeBron did and what Greg Popovich and them did in San
draft.
Antonio, and even what they did in Golden State. Most of them are homegrown talent, and at some point we have to give credit to the GMs and the talent
Listen,
evaluators.
Bob Myers better win GM of the year.
Yeah, not this year, but
Yeah, he should because he signed Kevin Durant.
that's easy. That's like saying, I already got a Ferrari, so give me. I should be Playboy of the year because I got the hottest girl in the bar. No. I already had all that stuff. That's just a plus.
You like the little guy.
I like I mean, it's easy to root for the underdog. It's
Yeah.
easy to root for them to go up, and it's fun to do that. It's fun to do that in life. How many success stories do we love when a guy builds a business down from the ground up, and then he maintains that and becomes super? Bill Gates, the richest man on the planet, has one of the greatest stories ever. Don't you? You love stuff like that.
Yeah, you do.
Whereby, other rich people, inherited the money. Hey, your father worked
Tr-
for it, so you deserve it.
Tristan
But
Thompson's girlfriend.
it's just, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm not hating on anybody, but there's clearly a difference.
Definitely a difference. But we say that to say this, like LeBron, you played on the super team since 2010.
Mhm.
When people say, I don't understand.
He
why,
left a fading super team to leave another super team.
I'm just confused. Like, how is it Miami a super team when, first of all, at the time, those guys had been in the league 7 years. They had gotten drafted in 2003. They formed that team in 2010. So even to that standard, this is KD's 9th year that he joined Golden State.
Mhm.
And it was I think Steph had gotten drafted like a year or two.
Same year as Blake Griffin.
A year or two before him. And Klay Thompson got
Nah,
drafted.
wasn't it after?
I mean, that's
KD
not-
got-
yeah,
yeah.
It was a year or two after him. So first of all, those guys were even younger than most of the guys. Like these guys are about to be 30. LeBron was like 26, 27 when he went to Miami.
28, because a lot of people, I remember, look at LeBron at 28, look at Jordan at 28.
Oh yeah.
I hate that comparison. It's stupid.
yeah.
Sorry, continue.
And then Dwayne Wade could have been considered the second best shooting guard in the NBA at that point.
He was
Kobe
top
Bryant.
5 at in the league at that time. He was top 5.
Top
without
5
a
player.
doubt.
He's definitely a top
Player.
2 shooting guard.
He might have even surpassed Kobe at that point. I'm sorry, Kurt. I'm sorry,
He's
Brad.
never surpassed Kobe in anything. First of all, he has one Finals MVPs and no league MVPs. Since we want to count those awards now.
I always count those awards.
But yeah, and then their team was stacked. Then they had a bunch of veterans that were also number 1 picks. They had Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis. They had
Mike Bibby was there the first year.
Mike Bibby was there the first. Like these were guys.
Bill Gauskas was there the first year.
They had guys, and then Chris Bosh was also an All-Star. They all 3
Perennial
were All-Stars the
All-Stars.
prior year, All-Star starters. So
Starters.
And then I look at this team. Kyrie was an All-Star. Kyrie was an All-Star reserve.
So was Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love was definitely an All-Star, but Kyrie wasn't an All-Star starter. That's what it was. But he was
Who started the All-Star game?
for the East. I think.
Well, Isaiah Thomas, yeah, and
No, I'm saying the year before LeBron got there, Derrick Rose was starting in the All-Star game.
Oh yeah, my bad. He was All-Star reserve, and Kevin Love was an All-Star starter. He started.
He wasn't a starter. He was definitely reserve.
Yeah.
In the West at that.
At the West, yeah. Which is almost impossible to.
So, I mean, to say you've never played on a super team, like, that's dumb. Now, were your super teams as good as Golden State's super teams? No, because they outdid you. They out LeBron.
Yeah, they did. They signed Kevin Durant. They homegrown talent, and they signed Kevin Durant. They had one significant free agent, and they out LeBron with that one free agent.
So I mean, that's that. I really.
So no, he didn't start the super team trend, but LeBron, you're one of the leaders in this league. Yeah, people are gonna point to you and say, "Hey, the reason we're doing all this is because you went to Miami." When Boston formed their super team, it didn't feel as lopsided when they did it as when Miami did it. And I know that's unfair, and that has to do totally with LeBron being on that team.
They were old, first of all.
None of them were top 5 players. None. And when you did it with Dwayne Wade, there were 2 top 5 players, 3 top 10 players. Chris Bosh was a top 10 player.
Definitely. When he left Toronto, he was the all-time leading scorer in Raptors history.
Yeah. So
just let that sink in.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you didn't start the super teams. Maybe that's what you're fighting. But you did say you never played on a super team, and that's a flat-out lie. You've played on multiple super teams. You played on 2.
Definitely 2. And probably
every single year you're talking about.
I was saying since you've played on the super team since 2010.
So you technically played in 7 super teams.
Facts. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah. Come on, man. How are you dominating?
Shout out to the Road Tripping podcast, though.
Yeah, that was amazing. LeBron, it's always fun listening to him speak. It's great. That barbershop thing he did with Draymond Green.
I watched it last night. That was dope.
It was awesome. I disagree that quarterbacks can't be discussed as a top athlete of all time, but I understand your reasons and I'll accept them.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron James is a great man.
I
don't hate him.
I love LeBron.
Yeah,
I hate his fans.
Yeah, it's just and now they use arguments. Oh, look at all the good things he does. I'm like, yeah, no one's ever arguing that LeBron James is a great person. That has nothing to do with him as a
player.
No, yeah, we're just arguing he's not the GOAT.
On the court.
That's it. We're just arguing he's not the GOAT. That's it. And there's nothing wrong or disrespectful with putting him in our top 5 of all time.
His fans are horrible because they do
ridiculous.
They do stuff like talk about Kevin Durant's mom and stuff like that. Like, come on, man, that's classless. Classless.
But LeBron, like going forward, we want to see you succeed. I just don't want to see you win any NBA titles. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe, but I don't think it does.
Staying with these Warriors though.
Great team.
Reportedly, unanimously decided not to visit the White House for their championship, to celebrate their championship. I'm not surprised.
We talked about this as soon as President Trump got elected, that this might happen.
Yeah, because to me, well, first of all, I'm going to try to say this as politically correct as I can say it. President Trump has made it pretty clear that he has a racist agenda to me. Not agenda, but like he has problems with other races. Like he said the thing about keeping the Mexicans out with the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He's made fun of disabled people before. Mm-hmm. It's just like the things that he stands for is not surprising to me. And then on top of that, the Golden State Warriors have one white player, and he's foreign. That's Zaza Pachulia from the Republic of Georgia.
2 white players. Can we grab Steph's half and Clay's half and put them together?
I mean, I guess, but they have one white player.
Zaza's the white player,
and Zaza's the white player, and he's not white American. He's from the Republic of Georgia. So, and then you know how he feels about foreign policies and these things like that. So to me, it's not surprising that those guys wouldn't want to go visit the White House because you see what the things that comes out of his mouth is just bad. It just looks bad. So I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. I want to say, me personally, I would go to the White House regardless of who the sitting president is, regardless of what they've done, just because of what it represents to me.
Yeah.
I won the NBA I won a championship. you go to the White House. That's what I think. But I didn't bash Brady when he didn't go to the White House. I'm not gonna bash these guys if they decide not to go to the White House. Now, I don't think this is me personally speaking, just me not speaking for everybody. I don't think President Trump has a racist agenda. Like you're saying, now he has somebody on his staff, Steve Bannon, who's clearly a racist. But I don't think he himself has a racist agenda. I know people that worked with him, and they say he's a nice guy. Yeah, there's differences, you know.
Yeah.
But I can understand what you say. All these things Fred said are true. That he, except for maybe the race, that's just me thinking he doesn't have one. But everything he said about making fun of disabled people, talking about women, grabbing women's private part, all of that stuff is true.
Building up the wall.
Yeah, building up the wall. All of that's true. So I don't know. I don't know. It's their right to not go to the White House. They don't have to go to the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a form of protest, and we protest sitting presidents all the time. Conservatives for 8 long years have protested President Obama. So you can't not flip the coin and say, hey, liberals don't protest Trump, he's the president. No, that's not how it works. We live in a country where you're allowed to protest. And you're allowed to support whoever you want to support. So if they don't support this president and they decide, hey, I don't want to go, I don't think it's a disrespectful thing. I just think, hey,
it's their decision.
We're just standing up for what we believe in. We don't like what you're doing right now, and I don't want to be seen as supporting what you're doing right now.
Exactly. That's what I think it's about. And
I'm going to put a little tiny bit of my belief in that. I don't think protesting doesn't mean you don't support the United States or the office of the president. I have no doubt that if another country decided to say something bad about our president, that we wouldn't defend them. I don't think that would be the case. They don't have to go to the White House, just like Tom Brady didn't have to go to the White House. It's fine. I personally would go to the White House because, just like if Mike Pence gave a speech at my graduation, I would listen. We as a country, and this is both sides, liberals and conservatives, we need to listen to the other side to try to get, think about it. If you're going to listen to your enemy, would you just completely put them in the dark, or would you try to get as much information on them as possible?
Get as much information
exactly.
as possible.
So you want to listen to the other side. The other side isn't completely dumb. The other side has some good ideas. We need to meet in the middle somehow. And that's the only bit of, I guess I didn't lean anywhere. Just listen to, that's my little bit of political advice.
You gotta, like I said when he got elected, I'm rooting for Trump. I have no choice.
Yeah, but
I live here.
But, when we say we're rooting for Trump and he puts up, the same thing, any president that puts up a plan that I disagree with, I'm going to let him know, hey, I disagree with it, and I'm going to let you know why. And hopefully he'll come out or she'll come out in the future and say, hey, this is why I'm supporting this plan. And then we can maybe meet in the middle. We need to talk more. That's what it is. And
yeah, that's for
unfortunately, it took a tragedy. I know this the sports world, Democrats and Republican. The Scalise got shot. Hoping he makes a speedy recovery. It sucks that it takes a tragedy to bring us together. But we need to learn from this that, hey, we're going to meet together. Republicans and Democrats have two different ideologies, but at the same time, both of them are trying to make this country better. And we need to realize that when we're both trying to make this country better, we need to meet in the middle.
Exactly.
That's about it. But going back to the Warriors, it's their right not to go. Hey, if they don't go, they don't go. Hey, if only one of them goes, don't attack him for going. No, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
They have team unity though. It shows that they're discussing it as a team.
Facts. NFL NBA draft next week.
Oh, I gotta put this up. I messed up. My bad. Go ahead. Finish it. Finish
me and Rob, we doing our mock draft. First 10 only. Only the first 10. Number one. My number one is going to surprise a lot of people.
You going first, and then I go second for the Lakers.
No, I was going to do all 10. But,
no, go ahead. Do all 10, and then I'll do my all 10.
My number one is going to surprise you, and that's going to be Josh Jackson going to the Boston Celtics.
That's a mistake.
No, it's not. Josh Jackson is more athletic. He's stronger than Markelle Fultz. Mm-hmm. And I really believe he's the most NBA ready out of any player in this draft. But I could be wrong because I felt that same way about Chris Dunn from Minnesota from the Timberwolves. But I mean, I think he's gonna bounce back though. But I got Josh Jackson number 1. Number 2 to the Lakers, I got Markelle Fultz.
That's surprising. No Lonzo.
No Lonzo. Cause I just feel like Lonzo, it's that shot for him, man.
Yeah.
It's the shot for him, and it might end up working out for him in the NBA, but I can't. It's kind of nah. Number 3 to the 76ers, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
So you got Lonzo, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So guys can kind of they're both big guys, can stretch out, get Joel Embiid the ball. If they all stay healthy, I think they go for a playoff spot. Number 4, I got Jason Tatum to the Suns. Jason Tatum and Devin Booker, 2 guys that can shoot lights out.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum was really impressive in the ACC tournament. I got a chance to see that live.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so it was really good. He played really well in the championship game versus North Carolina for the ACC title. I think he's gonna be really good. Number 6. Number 5, the Kings. I got Jonathan Isaac from Florida State. Big guy. Him and Buddy Hield could possibly be a good 2 great wing players. They both can shoot it. I think Jonathan Isaac is gonna be good. Number 6 to the Magic, I got Dennis Smith Jr. from MC State, a guy that the Knicks have been looking at.
Yeah.
The guy has a 48-inch vertical. It's nuts. 48-inch vertical. So, I mean, he'll be really good for the Magic to go along with this guy's name, Aaron Gordon. Really good player. Number 7, De'Aaron Fox to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That means Ricky Rubio's on his way out.
Ricky Rubio's out. I think Ricky Rubio goes to the Knicks in the offseason because I don't believe Derrick Rose resigns there. And I think he fits way more in that triangle offense that Phil Jackson won't give up.
Yeah.
So I think him and Porzingis are going to be really good. I don't believe Carmelo Anthony is going to be there next season.
No.
I don't. So I think that they work out a sign and trade with the Knicks or something like that.
Yeah.
To send Carmelo wherever he wants to go in a 3-team trade. It works out for them. For the Knicks, at 8, I got Malik Monk. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Oh
yeah,
no!
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry. Malik Monk at 8 to the Knicks. I think he's a big guard who can run. And like I said, if they do a signing, if Ricky Rubio goes to the Knicks and they have him, Porzingis and Malik Monk, that could possibly be the start of something good. Even though Ricky Rubio's been in the league like forever, but he has
not a super team guy.
He has a timeless game though.
Yeah.
He has a timeless game. Like he's one of those like Steve Nash types that's gonna be around for a long time. Number 9. What do I have at number 9? Oh, number 9 to the Mavericks. I had, what's this guy's name from Duke? What the hell is the name from Duke? Hold on. I'm messing up. All right, skip that. To the Mavericks.
Luke Kennard?
Yeah, Luke Kennard. Good job. Luke Kennard to the Mavericks. I think he'll fit right in with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Because he's a shooter. His game reminds me of Dirk Nowitzki's a lot. And I think if he can be a Dirk Nowitzki 1 to 2 more years before he retires and have him mentor his game, I think he'll be a really great player in a couple of years. And number 10, I have Harry Giles going to the Kings because he's going to replace DeMarcus Cousins.
When he eventually leaves. The King. Oh, yeah, he left the Kings already. Sorry.
He'll replace DeMarcus Cousins. Big body, can score the ball. He was really good in the NCAA tournament for Duke, even though they got bounced early and that was my championship pick.
Yeah.
But, those are my picks. I think follow this blueprint.
All right, now I'm going to go first. I'm going to go next. First to the Boston Celtics, I got Markelle Fultz. I think he's clearly the best player in this draft. He could play the 2 guard, which we're having Isaiah Thomas at the 1, or vice versa. I think Isaiah Thomas being at the one will teach Markelle Fultz eventually, how to pass things up. I think Markelle Fultz is the best player in this draft, and I think the Celtics would be crazy not to draft him. Number 2 to the Lakers. I have De'Aaron Fox going to number 2 in the Lakers. De'Aaron Fox is really, really on my radar right now.
He's good.
I wanted the Knicks to draft him, and I think he's not going to reach the Knicks. De'Aaron Fox, I think, is the number 2 player in this draft. The Lakers can use a guard. I know they have D'Angelo.
D'Angelo and De'Aaron.
Yeah. Together, you move them to the 2 assign. I don't think they need to go forward. They have I forgot that dude's name that they got it forward that last year.
Who
Who's the draft pick they had last year?
Draft pick last year?
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, they got him, and I don't think they need. I think De'Aaron Fox is good. The 76ers, I don't think Josh Jackson. I think they're gonna grab Josh Jackson. I don't think that's a good idea. They have too many folders, so I'm gonna put Lonzo Ball there. It's gonna really destroy that Lonzo Ball brand. Feel bad, but it's gonna destroy the big baller brand, but it's gonna be better for Lonzo
as a player.
Why? Because he's gonna be able to grow as a player over there, and then he's gonna finally be able to sign with like Nike or something like that and get his stuff elsewhere. Phoenix Suns, I got them grabbing Josh Jackson. They're not going to because the 76ers are gonna grab him.
That would be interesting.
But yeah, they can have those big men's up there. Josh Jackson can really help them out in the post, and that's what I really think.
Tatum and Booker
of course
better to see.
Yeah, it would be better to see. I agree. But those who I have 5, I have Tatum going to the Sacramento Kings.
I like it.
Yeah, like you said before, when you had the Kings grabbing a forward. I also have them grabbing forward. They need to replace DeMarcus Cousins. I think Tatum is probably top 3 in this draft. I think he might be better than Josh Jackson.
He's severely underrated.
Exactly. At the end of his career, I think he'll be better than Josh Jackson. But
it depends on the system.
It depends on the system. And
that's the thing about this.
Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, true. They had a lot of success as an organization.
Of course they did. 6 to Orlando Magic. I also have another forward, the Arizona forward, Lauri Markkanen. I don't think they're gonna be good this year. The Orlando Magic. I think there's gonna be start of their tanking phase.
No, I don't think because they have a lot of young players.
They have a lot of young talent, but they probably need more.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good start. Who's their forward now? It's not that good, right?
Aaron Gordon is their
forward. He's not gonna.
Small forward. I don't know what the power
forward
is.
The power forward in the center they need.
It was Ibaka, but
All right, Minnesota Timberwolves. I have them stealing Dennis Smith from the New York Knicks for the same exact reasons you said. Ricky Rubio's on his way out. I don't think he's gonna go to the Knicks. That's such a Phil Jackson move, but I really hope he doesn't go to the Knicks. Because the next picks, I do have Malik Monk going to the Knicks.
I do too.
Malik Monk on the Knicks would be perfect. This draft is stacked. This draft is completely stacked.
It's stacked, but it's like none of the talent jumps off the page at you. That's the only thing.
Except Markelle Fultz to me. I think Markelle Fultz.
I think Josh Jackson's talent jumps off the page to me more than Markelle Fultz.
You think so?
Because I think, first of all, Markelle Fultz played in a weak conference. His only opponent was really Lonzo Ball, so it's like it's not surprising that he averaged those numbers. To me, De'Aaron Fox and those guys, Josh Jackson played in the Big 12. De'Aaron Fox played in the SEC.
Tough divisions.
Tough divisions, even though people don't consider the SEC a basketball conference, but
they have good squads.
They have good squads. So I think the conference has a lot to do with it. And then of course Jason Tatum played at Duke.
Yeah, of course.
You got to play Carolina twice a year. So
number 9, Dallas Mavericks, who I like. They're gonna stay with their European vibe. They're gonna grab that French. They're gonna grab that French guard, Frank. I don't know.
Nicolanta, yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Who the Knicks are supposed to be drafting? But.
It's. Well, I think he'll fit perfectly with the Mavericks. I think they already have their Dirk replacement in Nerlens Noel there. So you don't think Nerlens Noel is gonna be?
He's too much of a big. He don't have a jump shot like Dirk. That's why I think they got to get Luke Kennard is lights out, man.
True.
Luke Kennard is lights out. Like, you need a 3-pointer, he's gonna get it for you.
No doubt. But I think they should grab that guard. They don't really have that pass first guard, so I think they should grab him. 10 Sacramento Kings, two top 10 draft picks, which is great. Zach Collins from Gonzaga. Yeah, they're gonna fortify their big front. I don't know if in today's NBA that's gonna be an exactly good idea, but it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So
honorable mentions: Justin Jackson.
Great.
Duke,
great.
Duke. I mean, not Duke, Carolina.
Yeah, good.
Dwayne Beacon from Florida.
Yeah.
Also a good pick.
His talent's level is stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked. Frank Jackson from Duke. Duke's gonna have a historical night, I think. But they're not gonna have a lot of lottery picks, but
they're gonna have two draft.
They're gonna have at least 4 players drafted next week.
No doubt.
So that's how we end the show of today.
Yeah, great talk. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors for winning the title. That's about it.
See, same time, same conversations next year.
All right, guys.
Maybe talking about
next year we're having another
3
championship
6
next week without NBA topics. Yes. Well, we're gonna have NBA topics. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We still have to have the MVP talk, and the draft is eventually coming. And then free agency next week. Sports are all year round, man. Every single sport's all year round.
How about Jason Day and all those guys didn't make the cut at the U.S. Open last?
Yeah, that's
night. Who didn't make it? Was Rory, Jason Day, and
everybody.
Like 3 of the top 5 players in the world didn't make it.
And then Phil Mickelson didn't even show up because he went to his daughter's graduation, which is honorable. He's a great father. This U.S. Open is anybody's. This
I'm going.
Yeah, you can win.
I got a better golf swing than Chuck, though.
No doubt.
That's it for us, though. We're going to see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Look out for all you dead ass. It's becoming. Peace.